In the 1980s, refugee camps needed a way to cook food without destroying entire forests. Engineers created the rocket stove. It uses 90% less fuel than a campfire, boils water in 3 minutes on a handful of twigs. You can build one in 30 minutes. Here's how. Hi, I'm Cal. I find forgotten technology. This is Grid Zero, where old tech becomes survival knowledge. If you want to see more forgotten technology that actually works, hit subscribe. Today, the rocket stove, a cooking device so efficient NASA studied it for Mars missions, used by millions worldwide and almost unknown in the West. When the grid goes down, this isn't a camping trick, it's how you cook. The rocket stove was invented in 1982 by Dr. Larry Winnisarki at the Aprovecho Research Center in Oregon. The problem? 3 billion people worldwide were cooking on open fires. Inefficient, dangerous, destroying forests. Smoke inhalation killed 4 million people per year, more than malaria. Women and children spent hours every day gathering firewood. Deforestation was accelerating. Indoor air pollution was a silent epidemic. Winnisarki studied traditional stoves and combustion physics for years. He tested dozens of designs. He created a design that changed everything. The rocket stove uses a simple principle: insulated combustion chamber plus J-shaped fuel feed. Air is drawn through the burning wood. Complete combustion, minimal smoke, heat concentrated at the top. 90% fuel efficiency compared to 10 to 15% for an open fire. The impact was immediate. Families who spent 6 hours daily gathering wood now spent less than 1 hour. Health improved as smoke exposure dropped by 80%. Within a decade, millions were in use across Africa, Asia, and Latin America. The rocket stove won awards. It saved lives. And then the West forgot about it. Here's the science. A normal campfire wastes heat in all directions. The flames rise, carrying heat away into the air. Most of the energy escapes as smoke and unburned gases. You need constant feeding, constant adjustment, and you're lucky if 10% of the energy actually cooks your food. The rocket stove traps that energy. It forces combustion to happen in a controlled space. The design has 3 key elements working together. 1, the combustion chamber, a vertical insulated tube where wood burns. The insulation is critical. It keeps temperatures high, 800 to 1,000 degrees Celsius. At these temperatures, wood doesn't just burn, it gasifies. The gases combust completely. High temperature means complete combustion. Complete combustion means almost no smoke, just heat and a small amount of ash. 2, the J-shaped fuel feed. Wood is inserted horizontally at the bottom of the stove. Only the tips of the sticks enter the combustion chamber. Only the tips burn. As they burn down, you push the sticks forward. This gives you precise control. You're not throwing wood on a fire and hoping. You're feeding fuel at exactly the rate you need. Controlled fuel equals controlled heat. 3, the chimney effect. Hot air rises through the vertical chamber. As it rises, it creates negative pressure at the bottom. This pulls fresh air in from below through the fuel feed tunnel. The incoming air feeds oxygen to the fire. More oxygen means hotter, cleaner burn. It's a self-sustaining cycle. The hotter it gets, the stronger the draft. The stronger the draft, the hotter it burns. The result? A concentrated jet of heat at the top, like a blowtorch focused on one spot. That's why it's called a rocket stove. You can hear it roar when it's running at full power. The sound is the air being pulled through at high speed. You can build a basic rocket stove in 2 ways, permanent or portable. Let's start with the simplest, the brick rocket stove. Materials: 16 standard bricks. That's it. No mortar, no cutting, no special tools. Step 1. Create the combustion chamber. Stand 4 bricks on end in a square. Leave a small gap at one corner. This is your vertical chamber. The gap is where the fuel feed will connect. Step 2. Create the fuel feed. Lay 4 bricks horizontally in a line leading into the base of the chamber through that gap. This creates the tunnel where you insert wood. The tunnel should be slightly elevated at the entrance so air can flow underneath. Step 3. Create the shelf. Place 2 bricks across the top of the fuel feed tunnel, right where it meets the combustion chamber. This creates a platform for the burning wood tips to rest on. It also forces the incoming air to flow under the burning wood, feeding oxygen from below. Step 4. Build the chimney. Stack the remaining bricks on top of the combustion chamber, 3 to 4 layers high. This extends the vertical chamber and increases the draft effect. The taller the chimney, the stronger the pull. Step 5. Add insulation. Fill any gaps between bricks with ash, sand, or clay. This keeps heat inside the combustion chamber where it belongs. Some people add a layer of cob or clay around the outside for even better insulation. Total cost, $20 if you buy bricks, $0 if you find them or use broken concrete chunks. Total time, 20 minutes for your first build, 10 minutes once you know what you're doing. For a portable version, you need metal. A large can for the outer shell. A number 10 can works well. A smaller pipe for the combustion chamber. 4-inch stovepipe is ideal. Cut a hole in the side of the can near the bottom for the fuel feed. Insert the pipe vertically. Insulate the gap between the pipe and can with sand, ash, or perlite. Same principle, different materials, more durable than bricks, and you can carry it. Pre-made rocket stoves are available online for $30 to $80. Some are beautifully engineered, some are overpriced junk, but building your own teaches you how it works. You understand the principles, you can troubleshoot problems, and when the supply chain breaks, you can build another from scrap. Let's compare performance with real numbers. Test 1. Boil 1 liter of water on a traditional campfire. Fuel used, 2 kilograms of wood, roughly 6 to 8 large pieces. Time, 15 to 20 minutes, depending on conditions. Smoke, constant throughout. Heat, mostly wasted into the surrounding air. Test 2. Boil 1 liter of water on a rocket stove. Fuel used, 200 grams of small sticks, about as much as you can hold in one hand. Time, 3 to 5 minutes once the stove is hot. Smoke, heavy for the first 30 seconds during startup, then almost none. Heat, concentrated directly on the pot. That's 90% less fuel for the same result. Think about what that means. If you're cooking 3 meals a day, a campfire might require 20 kilograms of wood. The rocket stove needs 2 kilograms. Over a week, that's the difference between gathering wood for hours every day or gathering once. In a grid-down scenario, fuel efficiency isn't a luxury, it's survival. Less time gathering wood means more time for water purification, security, food preservation, and rest. Less smoke means you don't advertise your location to everyone within a mile. And less fuel consumption means your woodpile lasts weeks instead of days. When supply isn't an option, efficiency becomes everything. There's another advantage, cooking speed. In an emergency, you want hot food fast. The rocket stove reaches cooking temperature in under 2 minutes. A campfire can take 15 minutes just to get a good coal bed going. That difference matters when you're cold, hungry, and need to move. So why don't we use these in the West? Why isn't a rocket stove in every backyard? Simple. Cheap natural gas and electricity made efficiency irrelevant. When energy costs pennies and arrives at the flip of a switch, nobody cares about fuel consumption. We forgot how to cook with fire. We forgot that fire is a tool that requires skill. But 3 billion people never forgot. Rocket stoves are standard in rural Asia, Africa, and Latin America, not because they're traditional, not because people can't afford modern stoves, because they work better in environments where fuel is scarce and expensive. The West called it appropriate technology for developing nations. We labeled it as something for poor people in poor places.
We didn't think we'd ever need it. We assumed the grid would always be there, that trucks would always deliver natural gas, that the supply chain was permanent. But grids fail, supply chains break, gas lines freeze, infrastructure is fragile. Texas, 2021, millions without power for days in freezing temperatures, people burning furniture to stay warm. California, 2019 and beyond, rolling blackouts during fire season. Europe, 2022, energy crisis. Fuel prices tripled. People chose between heating and eating. Suddenly, cooking without the grid isn't a third world problem, it's everyone's problem. The rocket stove isn't outdated technology, it's technology that never needed updating. It worked in 1982, it works now, it'll work in 2050.
Because physics doesn't change. When the grid goes down, your modern stove becomes a useless box of metal and glass. Your microwave is a paperweight. Your electric kettle is scrap. The rocket stove keeps working. As long as you have sticks, you have heat. As long as you have heat, you can cook, boil water, stay alive. You can build one this weekend. Find 16 bricks or dig through your garage for an old can and some pipe. Follow the steps, build it, then test it. Boil water, cook rice. See how little fuel you actually need. Learn the skill now while it's optional, because when it becomes necessary, there's no time to learn. Forgotten technology doesn't mean it stopped working. It just means we stopped paying attention. We got comfortable. We assumed the grid was permanent. It's not, but the rocket stove is. It's been waiting for us to remember. This is Grid Zero, where survival isn't about buying the latest gear. It's about understanding what actually works. And what works is often what we left behind.